And we are streaming. Hello everybody. And yes, as Prospero has quite rightly said in chat, we are starting this a little earlier, but largely because I'm already tired. I was up at ridiculous. I've actually been off this week, but for some reason I was still up at 6 AM, which is ridiculous really, but hey. So I'm starting a little earlier in the hopes of possibly having a coherent gameplay longer than maybe the first game. Anyway, let's get this started. Excuses out of the way early. Tars Confusion for the 31st of July. The mountain has been restored to about 300 points as well. Evening, Kyle. But let's see if we can not make as many horrific blunders this week. Odds are low. I'm going to be honest. Odds are low, but we'll see. Also, YouTube has told me I'm streaming straight away, which is a rarity for it. Okay. Waiting on somebody. The clicking does nothing, but you know, it makes me feel slightly better about things. Come on. Doesn't load in East 2 this time. I mean, there's always a plus if that is what's going to happen, yeah. Plus for us, anyway. Alright. So, game starts. We're starting dealer. We have a okay-ish starting hand. Nothing spectacular, but a couple of close weights and it's suddenly looking a lot nicer. We draw 7 early, draw 3 early. Looks reasonable. Well, it looks as if you're in at least, so huzzah. And early calls from Yarok, which is pretty much for norm for him, I suppose. I guess there's a marginal upside to keeping that. If I draw an 8, I've then still got a 5-6 that I can use. Plus, obviously, 5s are currently my pair, so. Okay, we'll do the swap. Still could do with filling in a couple of these closed weights, but we'll see. I mean, I'm drawing okay, actually, considering. Just not especially fast, and it looks as if I'm going to require a 9 regardless of what I do here. Alright, so I've gone for a very early reach on the 5, so we have this directly safe against that. Very little, actually. Yes, we go 9 just on the basis that play a very early 7. Okay, and that's dealing. Reach path sleep into and 1. But I didn't lose any points, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean the hand was developing, but it was a slow one, so not much I could really do in that position. And at least we didn't lose any points as dealer. Okay, so starting north, this hand's a bit better, especially since we just drawn our second sequence. Still, I think 3 away though. No worries. Yeah, we have a 9 here, so we've got 2, 5, 6, and on top of the set, so that's fine. Still 3 away though. Okay, possibly Peiko for Yaku. I mean, we're kind of looking like we're going to get to Tanyo anyway with this hand, but Nice. Okay, so if we can pair up the north... Unfortunately, pairing up the north means it's not pin through. But if we can pair up the 4, then that gives us the hand. Gonna go that way. 2 norths are already played in any case, and we don't want to be in a position where we have to take a pin through. Now means we can in theory drop 7 pin if we draw the pair. Ooh. I mean, I see the hand that's available here. I don't think this is actually on, but it's not bad to take this in any case. This gives us 2 routes to get us to at least Tenpai, depending on what we cut here. So, but I really, as much as I always love going for this hand, it doesn't feel correct at this stage. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to pin through 5-8. 8's just been played as well, so... I'm always happy when that hand comes up, but, you know, it wasn't on in this case. Not with what we'd have to get rid of to make it. And Tanyo pin through is absolutely fine in this position. Tanyo pin through, possibly Peiko, if we get the last 8 dot. Immediately draw and discard the door after the reach. Ugh. Okay. Thankfully, nobody wanted it. Yeah, Call of Dora 3 would have been terrible right now. Prospero has dealt in again. And we've hit Mungan. What? Having the triplet of 6 and the 7s? Because I wanted pin food. I mean, I still had Tanyo anyway, but if I've got Pinfu, there's no reason not to take Tanyo Pinfu and give me more tiles to give me thing. It's fine. I was wondering if that was a genuine toss-up, but I didn't see the toss-up with that. So no, it's fine. I concede I miss things related to Fu and doing that whole swap, and I have a tendency to go for that sort of hand, even ignoring other things sometimes. So it's fine that I see it, but I just did not see the angle with that, which is fine. Anyway, this is a good starting hand. So we've got a 300-point lead because our Mungan beat the near Mungan that was picked up earlier. North doesn't help us. Prospero has a Ton. Could be a Sozu Honitsu. Thankfully, we don't have any Sozu, so that should be fine, provided we don't draw one at the wrong moment. So Chum drop that. So we're 2 away from temp. We're 2 away at this point. Yishanten. Potentially a regular 6-5 weight, or potentially we can go. Well, we can also call Dragon into it. So this is good in many ways. Dragon Dora. I mean, it's fine. I'm in the lead, so getting a quick hand and moving the dealer button on is probably in my best interest, especially as with Solar being the dealer. That's my most likely problem. Question is, will I get that red dragon out of somebody, or will I have to go on the 6-5 weight? Okay, so he's definitely Tenpai. Second call, Capadora. And there's Dora free against us. Oh, okay. This is looking a little problematic here. So that's definitely safe from the left. He had a 2-3, so if he wanted the 1-4, we're going to go for that. If he wants the 4, he's got both 2 sets of those. So I don't know what he's rushing, but he's obviously on bonus tile only for a Renshan, but he's up against Dora 3 now, which is not a good discard for it. In fact, this is, I mean, I've got a strong hand. If it weren't for the fact I'm up against 5 calls, I'd be looking really good about this, but I'm up against 6 calls now. Jeez. Alright, I reckon it's going to be... He's on a bonus tile, I reckon, and red is the most likely contender for that. So we're going to have to dodge. Downside is we don't have a good hand for dodging because Yarok has not played any Manzu, although he is called the set of Dora, so It's unlikely he wants them. That, though, is probably our escape route. Yeah, we've got a possible Honitsu on the right. Couple of 8s after 2 calls. Yeah, we're tossing 7s here. We're going for that. I mean, we knew Solar was Tenpai. Yeah, Prospero has got to have something here, even if it's Ton only. But we're going to avoid the most likely high value weight, which is going to be Ton Honitsu. Yarok we just want to avoid entirely, so I'm tossing 7, 7, 7, and we'll hope to have some additional safety coming up. Which is a shame, because we weren't that far away from it. Nice. Chankandora 1. Carning is bad. I mean, the risk of a Chankan is extremely, extremely low. And you couldn't have done much with it either way, but, you know. No, not always. And I have to be honest, I probably would struggle to not go Dora 4 in that position. And admitting your other option was discard it, which would have still dealt in, although it would have been cheaper. Still. Prosperous picked up a few more points. That increases our gap to 3rd. We're still in a tight battle with Solar, though. And we have a reasonable hand with 2 Dora. Solar is going for another quick hand, which he's wont to do. He needs to get his dealer button back. Try and establish a lead. I'm going to follow up with the south. So high end, we're looking at possible Itzy here, but unfortunately everybody's being very aggressive with calls. Going to give another one out. That's going to go to... Alright, Double Dragon on Yarok's side. So dealer Double Dragon is a little awkward, but hey, we know who to worry about. I say that sometimes it's not worth calling the initial dragon if your hand's got nothing valuable, but I mean, there's Double Dragon as dealer. I'm not going to argue with that. There's no, I probably could have avoided dealing in with that, but my hand wasn't masses away, and he's not a primary threat anyway. He might be in a moment, we'll see. So gap to 3rd is reduced to a Mungan range. We have Double Ton. We have reasonable-ish start, I think. I guess we throw the 8. Argument this 4 is more... okay, so just continually going on the aggressive call plan, which is fine. I mean, yeah, no, Double Dragon is fine. If you got 2 Onitars you can wait on, they get discarded, they get tossed to you. Absolutely. Right, Ishanten for what's going to be a very awkward wait unless we get rid of a 9-8 here, but most likely we're going to end up waiting on that 7 given 2 calls. Okay, no, that's fine. That escapes it. So, East for Tenpai. For 1, 4, 6 for... No, actually, there. Ignore that. 1, 4 for another one there. Let's go pair weight here. Oh, god darn it. I think we've got to risk the 5. It's really bad against 2 calls, but we've got to do it now. We're going to be stuck. And the highest value hand we have to worry about here is a Honitsu or a Chanta. Both seem unlikely from his discards, but you never know. Just get lucky is good. Middle 5 dot against that. Yep, it's a Honitsu then. Tenpai Indicator. That's his first middle dot tile out, so he wants to throw the dice now. Does mean nobody's going to play an East in this position. Well, Yarok might if he still needs something. Let's just hope they're in the wall. They're not. Northeast played. If he's got a Honitsu or even a Toy, this is a problem for me, but... Alright, reach on the 8. Fortunately, 8 doesn't pass him either. Could throw over 2 for safety if I wanted to. Yeah, I think we throw 2 for safety here. At least for a turn. See what we get. He hasn't played any Sozu. I have been tossing a lot of them myself, so I'm doubting it's what he's waiting on, but who knows. Well, 8 dot was the reach tile. We'll go with that. 2 safe tiles. That's fine. Not going to object to 2 safe tiles right now. Also, we're dealer as long as one of these 2 wins. We'd prefer it not to be solar, of course, but... And Yarok, of course, can't be considered outside of tempo at this point either, because I doubt he's going to fold as dealer. South is live. I'm the only person who should need it, but with a Honitsu on the board, we can't really play it wildly. No. And that was Dora, so that is a huge hit. It was Dragon only. Well, Dragon to Dora. Alright, Yarok takes the lead. I mean, yeah, bluff weights as dealer. It's still worth about that, but you always consider the high end. Guess I got Dragon here. So really, we're just looking for a quick hand to knock the dealership off. Drawing a 6 dot would be awesome right now. Just give us that Yaku. Just give us that Yaku. Failing that though, gonna keep the 5. So because safety to the dealer, also just clearly the dealer is doing something. So we'll go for the quick hand, which makes sense in this position. This is a close battle now for effectively 3rd. At least that's how I'm going to view it. We're going to throw 4-7, starting with a 7. Probably can't hold off too long that 5, so if we want to discard it, but there's always a chance we could use it. Well, somebody wants the 1-4-7 octave, so Prospero might have 2 sets ready if it's from him both times. We'll see. Anyway, the longer we leave it, the more dangerous it's going to be to get rid of loose Manzu at this point, so we are going to toss that next. Red's fine, we can hold that for safety. We'll probably play the 5 next. We also have to consider that Prospero is almost out, so we can't afford to not go for things. Downside is this isn't a hand I can really attack with for a Yaku, so if we don't draw the tiles, we can't go anywhere. That, though, was a good draw. Right, let's risk for 2 dot. You should start a side game. I would start a side game, but there's only 3 people in it. It's a little awkward from a tempo position here. We want to draw 4 so, actually. There we go, Larry's joined. Alright, there we go. Start. Yeah, no, I do have this on my second screen all the time, so I'm aware when people are waiting. It's just, that doesn't happen. Alright, well, Sumo, Green Dragon, Hatsu, so that's only a cheap hand. That's not going to change my position here other than putting me the 3rd. So it does change my position. But any win now, if I can pick up a 2-3 Han hand here, I just win the game outright. So that's what we're aiming for. Indeed, that's what I'm feeling. Six is an interesting draw. We'll play North. So we need something with this. 1 Dora plus a Sumo is probably going to be enough as dealer. Or Prospero needs to win some points. That would be an okay second prize. But the gap is only 2,000. We literally, a two-hand hand just gives us the lead. Alright, so Honitsu to worry about. We'll probably risk for 9 next. On that basis. Could be a chanter as well. And if it is, 6 might actually be a safe tile. In fact, it's a definite safe tile, of course, so... Might be an early indicator that he's trying to go for a chanter. I doubt it, but you never know. More likely he's going for Honitsu. Yeah, we're going to risk it now. If we don't play it now, it becomes something that's going to trip us up later. White Dragon, same reason. Well, Prospero Sumos with a... No, we'd need more than the Mungan. I was thinking about putting us back into a 30k game, but actually that doesn't work. Alright, so... 2 away. 4 and 7s, ideally. On both sides of these. 3 is not a 4 or a 7. It could still be useful. Potentially 2 Shanten now. Reach from Solar. How do we feel about this? I think we're just going to follow up for 9. A little bit unfortunate, but... That's really unfortunate. Alright, we're going to play the 2-so. So we need to make the 2-pin pass. All the ones have been called, but we got no other information in the low-mid dot range, so it's a risky tile. Mind you, none of our options are good. We could call this, but we're then risking a tile for it, so... Alright. Just think about this. Just in a 4, he's played 2 9s. I'm going to risk 7. We might call a 4 if it comes up again. I don't know whether I want to fold here. We have no information to go on, though. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm going to have to... This feels weak as dealer, especially since it's a critical position, but... Mid-Manzu seem really dangerous against Solar. Two whites, so that should be fine. So what we're banking on really is that Prospero is actually in Tempo. I can snipe some points here. Yeah, we're still not being given anything, so we are in fold territory now. Ah, okay, there we go. Of course, Prospero Summering wouldn't be the... Well, it would be bad for us, actually. Thankfully, Prospero is risking tiles now that he's got there, so we never know. So we've got 1 so for our last discard unless something happens here. Alright, that's fine. That puts us into second, I think. Oh, it was only a reach. Okay, that may not put us in second. Nope, but the game moves on. I was hoping for a little bit more than that in all honesty, but hey. Alright, double south. Andorra. Oh no, not double south, it's just south. Just south. We have 2 souths is what I actually meant to say from that. Ugh. Yeah, I was genuinely hoping Prospero would win that, but as it happens. Okay, so if we can close one of these 2, then we're in business. We might have to cut the 5-7 in a little bit, depending on how this works, and obviously we would definitely prefer the 8. Alas, the game was not going to give us that, so we're going to throw the early 9 up. So, Ishanten for south only. There's an outside chance we could pull this to Sanchiku. That would probably require a rebuild. And at this point, South gets us into 2nd. With no other modifiers. It also won't kill Prospero if Prospero deals in, so that's the other slight upside here. We can also go into a single weight on either of these if the 5 gets discarded by Yarok at some point, but... Okay, that's going to be a better weight than doing this, so we're going to cut the 7, cut the 5. So either way we're looking at 2-sided weights here, either closed on the 5 or we're going to... This gives us a few more options to get us there now, so... Okay, pair established. We are now waiting on something. We'd even call the 4 if it comes to it, but that seems unlikely. So any mid-dot gets us there, with the exception of the 3, because that puts us for a 10. I'd still probably go with the for a 10 weight at that point, but... Okay, so double pair 4-6. Which isn't great, but we'll take any tempai that's coming at this point. And we might be able to improve this if we draw the 5. Interesting. That actually puts us into a 4-9 weight, which might be better. 1 less, but we're waiting on a 9. No, we'll stick with our current weight here. 4. We got 4 versus 3. We can draw them. And it's not a tempai indicator, so... Alright, reach from Prospero. See, now we can bust him out. We also only have 1 safe tile to him, and it involves us breaking our hand up. Alright, let's go 9. We've now got ourselves into a pin through 5-8, so that increases our number of outs, and 9 was a safe-ish tile. Not definitely safe, of course, but oh, what? You can't into a reach again. You didn't even have a decency to give me any extra Dora. And then you play the Dora. Well, that was a sequence of events that basically was unnecessary. Did give him an extra one. So well done, you've given them a dealer Mungan and put them back in the game and taken yourself out of it. Well done. Alright, now I only have 1 person to worry about, and that's just now can I get 3,000 points off of Solar. Yay, we got double East. Actually, this is a reasonable 7 pairs start, actually, but we got double East in the South round. If we can... I mean, we'll see. 2 away from 7 pairs tempai. Which is always an awkward place to start. Let's cut the 5 dot immediately. Keep the 5 so because obviously red 5, so... Gonna go for that, because there's always a chance we could get into a natural hand without having to worry about things like that. Also, 2 6s have just been played by Prospero, so Prospero's doing something. Can't afford up. Let's at least look as if we're doing something. We can probably cut 6 so relatively cleanly here, based on the fact we got pair of the 4, pair of the 7s, and we see 2 of those. Alright, there we go. So, Ishan 10 for 7 pairs. And he's played a 5. Interesting. We probably want to keep it because it's 1 extra Dora, so that means we can go 7 pairs Dora Sumo, which gets us effective Monk. Well, gets us the 7 pairs for Han, which is not an effective Monk actually, but Prospero also likely wants Manzi, so that's our risky tile played. Didn't go for it. So he's got a bit. He's got some time to go here. I mean, it was worth testing the board to see if he wanted to call for this. He is dealer. But of course, we're in a difficult part of 7 pairs where, unfortunately, most of the tiles you could draw are not going to help you. You got a 3 in 30. That's another call. So Yarok's on the attack. 3 in 34 chance of getting anything useful. And you have to draw it. There's no shortcut. Played 1 pin. Right, we've got 8s for safety. Probably have East for safety, actually, come to that. Actually, East is the indicator, so yeah, we East are definitely safe. So this is like a reasonable thing to be waiting on 7 pairs style. We're not likely to get these into triplets with one indicator, with the indicator out. So 2 definite safe tiles. 1-8 already played. Do I want to risk this against Prospero? I might want to risk this against Prospero, actually. Again, he's not shown any indication of being on a Manzu hand. Or he's not discarded any middle Manzu at this point. So that's why we're assuming he's on that kind of hand at this stage. He's played 2 dragons towards the end as well. 1 was already out, so that's just there. Hi, Sarah. We're just deliberating. It's been an interesting, very aggressive game thus far. Well, there's an 8-so, which looked like it could have been called. Do I want to take that as an indicator that somebody has a triplet of these? We'll find out. No. The only sure and certain thing about Tiles of Confusion is that nobody will fold. I mean, I will, but you know. Oof. Now, here's the thing. Technically speaking, I should go for triplets, and I think I will do, but it doesn't feel like triplets is on. Well, I mean, there's no reason why it isn't, I guess. 1-8, 1 East played. It's the correct decision always. When you're in a 7 pairs Ishanten and you draw a triplet, you keep that triplet. Oh, but if we'd not kept it, we'd have had Tenpai. God darn it. Alright, fine. So we've given up a 7 pairs Tenpai. If we now draw a 2... Actually, if we now draw a 5-so, we now know that we were cursed, and we've just given up a Riichi Sumo as well. Nope, we have just drawn another 1-man. Now it just looks like we folded. Oh boy, oh well. At least it wasn't Ipatsu. Right, 5-man. That is really dangerous on this board. We are 4 tiles away from the end of the game. We're going to play our Easts. Yeah, we're giving up on the 7 pairs front. We might be able to sneak a Tanyo if we get extremely lucky draws. What's going on is South 2, a couple of games in progress. This is just the one I'm involved with. It also helps the illusion that I folded, although it's not really an illusion. I am kind of folding. Okay, 3rd white dragons should be fine, and then we got, I think, 8 dots for our last discards. But with only one more draw, I don't think we can hit Tenpai regardless of what happens, so... Yeah, we'll just play some safety. I don't know if that's safe, we'll play that. It wasn't 100% safe, but it might be Prospero into Tenpai. I mean, if you badly need to take points off somebody, yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, no 10. Well, it was a 5-8. I might have played that, you know. That might have happened. Anyway. Oh, he was for a 10, was he? Okay, fine. That might be why I would have played that. Okay, so 3,300 points then is the gap. South free. So there is now dealer, so any sumo is increased in value for this round. South has passed. We probably could have kept that, actually. Indeed, the genuine Mungan hands also become king. Yeah, we should have kept the south, so it's fine. Yarok's also within Mungan range to overtake us again for second, so not ideal. That being said, hand is going okay. If we draw a 5, that's leading us nicely into a pinfu. Then we need to draw something connected to one of these two and get rid of the other, so that could be dangerous later on. Beyond that, we'll see. All right, let's play the 7-3 out now. Actually, we got a lot of connectivity between this. So we got the 2-5-6, got this, and a loose 9. I'm going to draw the 8. We then got that, a pair, and that. Which, I mean, establishing a pair might be important. That's the only reason we're probably going to keep the 9 here, unless we pair up something else. But obviously, these aren't considered pairs in this case because it's 6-7-8 and a 7-8. So we've got 2-5-6 shapes going on. So this hand is got a couple of things it needs to do, but not the worst. And at least this seems fairly simple to get to Tanyo. Keeps discarding things that we might want. I'm not going to take it because actually I feel that we want to reach with this. We need a couple of points more value. So 6 gives us... We could potentially get this up to Pinfu, Ipeiko, Tanya, which would be enough to overhaul the lead. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. 7 pairs each on 10. We have dropped a pair, so logic... In fact, we dropped 2 pairs. So logic says we're going to get this now just because we've played this abysmally for it. But, we've now dropped 3 pairs. This 7 pairs is looking absolutely certain because we've dropped 3 of them. If we draw the Friso, we will have to get rid of one of these. Probably the 2-pin, I would think, out of this lot. Though there's an argument to be made that the 6 is the right one here. We're also very marginal on remaining time. Alright, we're going for the Senpai. This is potentially a little greedy, but late call. Two turns left to draw. See if we can hit it. Forwards though also coming out now is good for us because that means it gives us a safety tile. Tenpai, no Yaki though. Okay, Prospero also doing the same thing. So we need to draw one safe tile here and we're in business. Well, I said by business, I mean we're in Tenpai. Which, given a 3,000 point gap to the leader, is significant. So, safe to the dealer. Suji to the right. We'll risk it. Okay, fast. So, assuming that there isn't a random win here, I mean, we can still Haite the 369 actually. Haite, come on, 369 Haite. No, but 3-player Tenpai. So I don't gain any there's no difference between me and Solar here. That's just continuation. Gap to third has increased beyond Mungan range though, which is nice. That being said, Yarok's still got a deal turn left, so it's not strictly true that I'm out of Mungan range. Alright, East. We have 2 Dora in our opening hand as well, so 2 Dora plus anything gets us there. At least into the lead, and hopefully enough of one that we can just ride out the last hand. Oh, do I take Dora free? That's very greedy. Yeah, we can't take it. I would love to, but too much greed. Oh, 2 greens. Alright, fine. So no bonus star getting us there. It's just now whether we can get the completed hand here via Pinfu. Almost best thing for us to draw now is a 1-man. Give us that. We have, however, drawn that sequence out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that to come off. So, approaching. We might get into a position where we need to cut this. But not quite yet. We might do it in the next turn or two unless we draw something connected to this. Which is risky, but we only need 1 if we get the rest of the hand developing. Oh. Yeah, okay. So we still got 9 we want to get rid of. We still want to get rid of this. Well, I'm not just going a triplet 2s. We need to progress, so we're getting rid of the Dora now, which thankfully passed. That might have been our last chance to do it, which is why I couldn't go discard a third 2-so in a row. Oh, and we've been outsped by the dealer. We have a Suji and 2 tape tiles though, so we're going to play the Suji. If we draw a 7... No, actually, no, we're not. Sorry. Ignore that. So 8-so is a Suji to his initial discard. I don't think he wants anything near it, but it was a red 5. It was a red 5 he initially got rid of. If he's got anything near the Sozu, good on him, but he probably doesn't. And Prospero's dealt in, and that is probably going to end my... No, it's Riichi me. Okay, fine. So Solar going all in on a Riichi only. I mean, he's dealer, so that's his right, but might have been able to make something better with that hand, I think. We're not in the mood to play around now. We need 6,000 points. We have White Dragon Dora, which doesn't get us all the way there, but if we can knock Solar off a dealer button, that's probably reasonable enough exchange, in my opinion. If we can draw another salve, that actually pretty much establishes us into a free-hand hand. We can draw it for the direct hit. Might even aim for direct hit. We'll see. Nice. Okay, so White Dragon, Toy, double south, and south. I keep saying double south, but just because I've got 2 of the things. No, we're not. We're in west seat, so it's not double south yet. Next round, it'll be double. course, south now just puts us in Tempai for south white Dora, which free Han I think is enough. Not for the win, admittingly, but... Right, one Dora. Okay, let's go to 7. I think we're still south and hope to get a 4 to get us into white south Dora Dora. Mungan is definitely enough regardless who that comes from, so... Right, so even if we get the wrong side of this, this is still 8 double Dora. And in fact, Prospero gave us the effective Mungan with that. So 77 puts us into the lead, 1 hand to go. Solar is no longer dealer. I am not in a dealer button, so it's now just a case of can we ride out the last hand. Got a double south in the opener. It's better to be lucky than good at this game sometimes. Alright, start with green. We're in south seat as well, so this is 2 Han. And the rest of the hand's quite connected as well. We just need to get one of the middle tiles here. Have already drawn a middle tile here. We can get a possible Itsu. I think possible Itsu would be overkill with this hand, but it's an option. Honitsu is an option as well here, but again, we don't need the Honitsu necessarily. Alright, that's the wrong move. That is the greed move. I shouldn't be a slave to the greed monster right now, not from this much of a lead, but... Should have kept that, given us the options for that. I mean, if anything, I should toss the 5 dot there. The other 5 dot. I shouldn't have greed monstered it. As it happens now, we're going to have to go for it. Highlight the obvious hand, but you never know, that might put pressure on people. And either Yarok or Prospero winning with a cheap hand is probably good for us. I'm tempted to go to keep that, actually. But no. We would need to get the south in order to make that work. It's probably easier for us to assume the south isn't coming out of anybody. Okay, the game is determined to force us into a south play, but we're going to have to avoid it. Right, Yushantan. Well, Yarok's on the attack. He's dealer, so that's his right. I'm just playing nothing but middle Sozu right now. Technically call a 5 or an 8 for Tempai, but... Oh, Dora. Well, that might change things. Let's play a 3 dot here. Being dealt this is a problem right now. Got a reduced hand... But we can go south into a Dora only weight. My discards look terrible. 5 so, 6 so, 7 so, 7 so, 6 so, 3 pin, 7 so. That is yeah, that's a set of tiles. So Yarok also obviously has to consider who he's taking the points off of here, I guess, if he's thinking that far ahead. So obviously he takes a hit off Prospero for anything that isn't enough to overhaul. Alright, I want to play 6 pin here. Sometimes you have games like that, unfortunately. The best tile efficiency in the world won't stop the wall screwing with you sometimes. Dealing into a free two-hand hand would actually be the worst thing for us here, so this 6 is really terrible. Especially against that Riichi. Okay, well we got a safe tile for initial one. Well, we committed. Dora is the deal in tile. Okay, I think we're finishing second unless that is a dud hand. It's not, he's got Dora. Well, that's the game. GG's. So yeah, that was reasonably okay. Not the best for us in many ways. It just got to the end. We at least had Tenpai, but I think the greed monster affected me there. I shouldn't have gone for the Honitsu, ultimately. Should have waited and just kept the massive amount of Sozi, because the amount of Sozi tiles I got after that point was kind of silly. Anyway, I'm gonna not... Actually, we're not gonna go sign this game up just yet. I just want to see where the other game currently is, because it might be in our interest to go and swap the tables around. Since we are exactly 8. Alright, we're in East. We're in East 4 at this point. Chiral with 3 calls. Dragon and Dora. Showing from that. Yeah, so we're gonna... I think we might wait for this unless it takes ages. Do some reserve commentary. Joker pulling off a dealer sumo. How are the points looking? That was a dealer sumo from last place, and that looks quite a good hand. Yep, that'll do. Byman. Yeah, that's how you make a comeback. Alright, so Larry in second, Karma in third, Chiral in fourth. Let's go and follow from Larry's perspective. And hand's not looking terrible, I've got to be honest. I mean, gets rid of a loose 1-3 here. 2-2-2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not 6, unfortunately. 7, 8. So plenty of options here to just take this into a nice Tanyo position. Obviously, you could even go full Chinitsu with this, in all honesty. If he's got eyes on the lead, that might be the best play. Still got 5 tiles to get rid of to do it, but... Hey, if you keep drawing dot tiles, who's to say? Actually, let's open up people's hands. Let's, yeah, people complain about that. Alright, drawing the 2 here's a little awkward because he discarded the 1 on the first turn. Well, I can't complain at that because that means learning has occurred. And by learning, I might mean luck. Oh, well, I mean, in that case, learning, I guess we'll call it. They at least can avoid bad weights. Does Larry go Khan here? I hope not, but you never know. So just looking at what everybody's got here, Chiral, I'm fairly certain Chiral is about to go into Tenpai at some point, so thought that way. It wasn't bad. I mean, if it was genuinely on 4 tiles, then that wasn't a bad weight. If you mean there are 4 of them left somewhere, and they're middle tiles that other people would probably have held onto rather than playing out, it's probably a bad weight, but we'll wait and we'll reserve judgment until we see it. Alright, Larry's going for the quick Tanyo, which is fine. He's dealership if you win. He gains for dealership if you win, so yeah. No real objection. He's given up on the Chinitsu chance, but you know. No, I think not going for orphans is perfectly acceptable when you get to a certain level where you know it's impossible. There is, yeah, 9 is not a good enough start, usually. Now, sometimes it's not sometimes if you are miles down in points, absolutely go for it. We have absolutely no objection with you trying Yakuman hands when you badly need them. But yeah, no, 9 is not a good starting point. Mathematically, you won't make it. Yep, I agree with you, Cairo. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh no, 2 dragons are already out, so yeah. Alright, Riichi, what is he actually waiting on? He is waiting on a closed 5. Well, I think you brought that on yourself, sir. I mean, that if you're genuinely more likely to win another different hand, it's worth considering. I mean, there are situations where even at 7, 8, you might as well go for it. But most of those situations involve you being in low to no points and really not having a lot of other options. No, I guess not. I mean, yeah, a close 6 or close 7. It's close 5 or close 7, isn't it? So I suppose actually, if you'd have kept the 6, you'd have had no, it wouldn't have been better, would it? 7-4. No, you'd had 7-4-6, wouldn't you? No, you'd kind of been like, yeah, ignore that. Sorry, waiting a turn, you would have got that, but obviously there's no way to know you were about to draw that tile. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not paying attention to things correctly either. Ignore all commentary on how bad or otherwise people's hands are because I'm clearly not in the right frame of mind for it. I mean, there's an argument I'm never in the right frame of mind for it, but, you know. Okay. So Karma, with 1 call, has drawn a Dora and is probably going to be out of the hand unless he wants to risk things. Larry might be doing the same with a 7. Oh, link disconnected. Oh, okay, fine. There wasn't a long one. Yeah, people let me know if you disconnect because I can just pause the game so we don't lose anything. So, did Vidora come out now? Not quite. Yeah, Larry is completely folded. Gets the Riichi, which... I mean, throwing the 3 I could probably do against Kyril here. Throwing the 7 is going to be really awkward against him, though. So my first indicator has got to be somewhere around either the 9 or the 6 for most likely danger areas in terms of where his hand's going. So I think the 7 would be a tall ask for anybody to discard against that. So yeah, Larry's fold makes sense here. But yeah, people actually genuinely playing defense against Kyril, which, as we said, is definitely an improvement. That being said, Joker has a triplet of 3 of his winners, and Kalma's got the other one in a completed set, so he's not going to win. But you know, he picks up the blinds. He picks up the no-10 rewards. And at the end of the day, this hand would have been worth 1. Well, depending on what the era was, Riichi 1. So he'd think he might actually get more points from a draw. I mean, if he sumoed it would be different, I guess, but... Has Larry been corrupted by the Carnage? Not quite. Yeah, so Kyril picks up the blinds, picks up his reach stick. Well, doesn't pick up his reach stick, but, you know, puts 1,000 points on the table, wins 2,000, puts himself a little closer, puts himself in the 3rd. Progression. Also, the dealership moves on, so he's 1 turn closer to being dealer. Given we had no information beforehand of his reach was on the 9, you do see all the 9s, but the 7 can be in anything from a Tanyo to a Chanta, so the 7's always going to be a dodgy one for getting rid of in that position. I disagree with 7 being safe. Yeah, there. And again, as we've already kind of discussed when this happened earlier, Kyril is in last place, but he's not in a position where he needs to rely on a Yakuman at this point. He's got a dealer turn coming up. If he didn't have a dealer turn coming up, he probably would have gone for it. We do have 3 in the queue, and I was planning on shuffling people around, but... Oh, 3rd, of course, yes. Sorry. It's because Joker's got such a huge lead. So I'm just... It is a significant lead, to be sure, but you can definitely make that up with a dealer turn left. No need to go for a Yakuman. We do have one more slot available if somebody wants to jump in. I'm probably going to... We were waiting to this game to end so we could shuffle the tables around. But as Mono has joined, we have a 9th. So I'm happy for somebody to jump in and start another game if they want. No worries, demo. We'll add you in then once people sort themselves out. Anyway, we got a... Okay, fine. So I completely missed Fedora Dragon Call, which is at the start. I mean, you have to do it early or you'll never find out. Yeah, Dora Dragons. I mean, in fairness, his hand's not quite there, but you don't turn down Dora Dragons. It's very difficult to turn down Dora Dragons. Okay, that's fine. So that'll be where the shuffling happens. Actually, we already have Yarok joining in. I did say demo. I don't. If needed, that's fine. So Yarok's around. We might add. We'll add you into the next game. So what's going to happen then is I'm going to join in for the next one to replace Chiral, and we'll see who wants in after that. Anyway. So Prospero, Solar, Yarok, and Mono. He probably has kept them a bit late, especially given some of them are visible. He could be keeping them for safety, of course. I mean, it's sometimes a valid thing. It's often something you'll find that that I certainly do, or at least I try and do a lot more, is I play the risky tiles in the first row where I can, rather than holding on this long, and then just play the safety out afterwards. Sometimes you don't need to keep more than one or two safe tiles, especially as you want to get the hand developed into Tempai. But, you know. So, Joker's actually indicating a Honitsu here. Larry decided to attack this, which is curious, because 7 is not safe against him. I mean, it is, but, you know. Okay. So, he's going aggressive dealer. Has Tanyo for... He one call away from Tanyo, which does kill a Dragon Dora free that's against him. But when you're dealer, the last thing you want to do is deal into a Dragon Dora free. So he's on a 5.6 man weight. 6 men are in people's hands. I mean, Chiral's is useful but not connected. But even so, I doubt he'd play that against what's going on. Especially since it's an obvious Tanya from a dealer and a... well, actually, he might... I don't think you'd justify it. And then obviously the 6 is in Link Joker's hand and also very much a part of that hand. The 5 dot, though, is perfectly valid and live. There are 2 more of them, except that Kairo's just drawn one, so that's not going anywhere. 1 more winning tile you could potentially draw, sir. No! Apparently chaos has started. So now he's got the option of switching into a 3-6 weight. Decides to keep with a 5-6. The 4 was safe to Link, so I guess that makes sense on that basis if you think he's on a dot Honitsu. And there's the dealing. 7 man. Oh, was that game over? Alright, well, I'll join the next one, but I will obviously watch the rest of the game. So I assume Karma's about to bust out, unfortunately. Might be this hand, might be the next hand. We'll find out as and when. Meantime, additional drinks required. I mean, from your perspective, actually, busting him out isn't the worst thing in the world for Larry. It secures him second, assuming it happens this hand. Cam has actually got a really nice start for when you're in low points. You've got a dealer turn coming up, so it's not all doom and gloom. As long as you can survive to your dealer turn, it's fine. Starting with a triplet of dragons and a Dora in your hand is a good recovery hand. Unfortunately, if the tiles don't happen, it doesn't happen. But this is the kind of hand you want when you've got when you need a good dealer turn to come up, because there is no such thing as momentum in this game, but momentum of just getting a good win into your dealer turn. Anyway, what everyone else doing? Well, I mean, I'm not seeing any misplays now. We'll see how it goes. Pair of 9s, but obviously you got the 9-7. You can throw for 6 here, I think. Or for 2, I suppose. Actually, you can throw a lot of things depending on how tile efficiency works, but 6 is probably your best bet. The other thing to note is you can call absolutely anything that Kyril plays. Now that you got that, since you got that triplet of 1s, might even been advantageous to call the 1 earlier, just set a marker and try and put some pressure on. Again, might have been. Not necessarily guaranteed on that. We've had nuts in the East 1, have we? Good to hear it. Meanwhile, how's Larry doing? Couple away from anything. Okay, nearly a couple of Yakmen going on there then. Ouch. I mean, you're Riichi here. You can call 9. You can call. Actually, no, you're not. You're 2 away. Sorry, ignore me. Yes, remember, giving Mono points when he's miles in front is considered treason in the not alpha complex of this current game. Of course, I give him points all the time, so you know I'm just as guilty as everybody. Alright, so Lara going for a quick win just to try and hold things up. He does have 2 Dora, so Tanyo, Dora 2. Could potentially bust him out. I completely missed your bluff play in all honesty. I mean, I see a middle 4 and middle 7, which are tempo indicators, given you've done nothing else, but... If you mean random signaling, I kind of ignore that. Yeah, I just kind of ignore that. Alright, well that gives him his Tanya back, and he's actually got the Dora 2 available. So, 5-2. Unfortunately, one way or another, that's coming out of Karma. That's just unfortunate. Yeah, I see how this is going to go. Khan, you're in last place. You might as well. Yeah, this is the. You know, I know I talk down on Khans a lot, but that's actually a good Khan in this position. Unfortunately, this is a deal in. Symbols, Dora, and 2. It was a good Khan, though. I got no objection. When you're in 4th, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be trying to add points to the board. When you're in 1st, there's absolutely no reason you should be adding points to the board. Is my general rule of thumb on good Khan, bad Khan. But, I mean, there are always exceptions. Mahjong is a game of exceptions. I don't care about your darn ring chance. Your odds of that are basically minimal. I mean, even the very best weights in the world, you have a 3 in 34 shot of calling it. And all you're doing is adding value to the board that is most likely, 3 times as likely to benefit the other 3 players as it is you. Khaning in the lead is a fool's errand, but hey. Opinions of a Shadowhawk, and I've certainly broken that rule a number of times as well. The good news is, as I've said, Mahjong is very situational, and if you can justify it, you can do it. Sometimes it's even correct to do that. I'm talking about the general, and it's a very broad general. I mean, closed Khans are better, I'll be honest. Because you can time a closed Khan. You can't time an open Khan. It just happens. Anyway, we're waiting on one more. The best Khan is Khan reach, i.e. you do a Khan, and then you immediately reach. It doesn't matter if you've given somebody else value at that point. You have put down a marker that you need to be worried about. Even if you've given Dora away. If anything, that actually helps you if you've given Dora away in that position, because they're more likely to play risky tiles to come after you. Yeah, can't reach is absolutely... I mean, can't after the reach is fine as well. Although that does reveal the hand a little bit. Anyway, just waiting on one more if we have anybody around. I've gone second, must therefore go third to maintain my balance. I mean, the Holy Grail, and it is the Holy Grail, because it's similar to Sanji Kudoko, the hand that is impossible, the Nogeshi Mangen, the Sun Kansu, and I do emphasize Sun Kansu, is the Holy Grail of hands that never turn up. I've had one genuine opportunity for it when I started a hand with 2 Khans, and that was about it. Yeah, go grab a drink first. If nobody else turns up, that's fine. But next person in, I will just start this game off. Actually, what I'm going to do while I wait for that, let's go and watch the other game just while that happens. Once I see 3 in the chat, we'll go for it. Unfortunately, I saw 2 Khans in the opening hand, and I discarded one of them. one of the four elves. In fairness to me, I think that one was the one. It was something like a 4-4-4-4-5-6, which is still bad. But I think I cut the 4 from that. It might have also been a 4-4-4-5. I don't know. Still, it had connecting tiles, which is my justification, but it's not a good justification. Anyway, let's open the hands up. So, off the bat then, Solar has picked up a massive win, which has hurt Prospero. Yaroka has also issued a reach at some point, and Mono is just down from that initial start. Alright, Kara's turned up, so that is as much as this game as we're probably going to watch for the time being. Alright, let's get in and let's get the game started. Alright, game on. Ah, it's fine. I just thought you'd take a little longer getting a drink. I assumed cup of tea, so that was about a good 5-10 minutes. I might be able to finish a hand, or at least watch a couple of hands. Anyway, let's see how this goes. So we've been dealt south in the south round, which is never a bad thing. So we've got a 2-man 8-so, and see if we can draw anything. Drawing another red would be fine here. Gives us 2 Yakuhai to aim for. Both worth about the same ultimately, so. Karma is not. Okay. That wasn't an auto discard, I was considering that. So middle 4 after a long pause is interesting. That's a good draw. And in fact, the hand's now advanced enough that I'd probably consider calling the south from this. Without that, I think the hand would be slightly too far away. Kara going for a quick attack. Oh, it's fine. If I'd have realised, I'd have just put the game on pause. Sorry. Okay, triplet of the souths. So that means we can openly call whatever we want here. I say we can openly call it whatever we want here. That's a slight concern. Still, we're not a million miles from just taking a win here. I think we risk red here. Two safe tiles. So south only 4-7. So Karo's on a Honitsu, which he might not be given those. He's more likely on a dragon and something though. Could have something connected to Fedora. But with 6 and 3 gone, he is likely to play 4-7. Okay, turn new attack from Karma. Four from his hand. So he might have just drawn it up before, is my opinion on that. Shame it wasn't the 4 I was interested in. Last white is fine. South only. So that's just the call for Tenpai. Nothing to really walk home about there. Well, we have a dealership and we have 2 bonus tiles that we'd love to draw an extra one off, but if it doesn't happen, we could always just go around it. Draw something connected to the 4-7. Draw something connected to the 3-4. Alright, I'll play it Anista at this point. I mean, there is slight greed looking at the possible Itsu here, but it's probably reasonable. We're also getting to the point where we want to discard one of these two, but and again, we probably should have played the red a little sooner. We're now getting into the position where it's now a problem in our hand rather than a solution to things, because now we can't play it at all, full stop. Well, we have a safe tile initially to Karma, so we'll play that out and see. Red 5. He's played a 3-dot as well. So it's a 1-4-7 vein if that's what he's going for. Still kind of going for this, but we'll see. Hatsu is a problem, potentially. Slightly less of one than anything else, but, you know. Okay. Well, we weren't officially folding until that point. Now we are. Oh, we see 2 whites. So Hatsu is the worst thing for us to draw right now, unless we get a second. And even then, we probably need a third to be able to do anything significant with it. So we are just going to fold out, I think. Keep the game short. And most importantly, using our thinking time here, because we are in trouble. I'm not denying that, we are in trouble. Carl's making risks, so that's fine. That's helpful for us, actually. Probably means Carl's in tempo, I actually come to that. Still, we have safe forward up for now. We have safe read up for now as well. Well, safe-ish freed up. 2 more to go. We just need 1 more tile from somewhere. Which is probably going to be 2 at this stage, unless I can see anything obvious. Yeah, I'm supposed to play for 9. We're just playing for safety anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Miles away. So 7 so closed. I'm perfectly fine with that. That doesn't really do a lot to me, really. Puts me back where I started. Karma has the lead. We are in second. This is the very definition of a tight 30k game. Shame we didn't go for that, in all honesty, but, you know. So next loose tile is the 8-man, and then it's just a case of what can we get around what we currently got, because this could potentially go in a few directions. Wasn't quite the direction I wanted, but we do now have 4 pairs, I guess. If we have 5 pairs, we might decide this, but it definitely looks like we're going to have an easier time just going for a normal-ish hand with this. Right, Ishan 10, 7 pairs. 1 man, 2 dot, and 6. We have 1 Dora. And we've now dropped a pair. Perfect. Given us the potential Hanneman, we will probably get attack this if we do get lucky into this, but you never know. Karma is called. Reach on the 1 man. Let's go. Reach. Ipatsu. 7 pairs. Dora. How do we feel about a 1 man here? It's probably the best kind of weight for this kind of thing. A loose honor or a loose honor nobody really wants, and a loose single tile. It's possible somebody's already got a triplet of them. They could all have triplet a low sequence in Manzu. Manzu have been fairly expensive on the board. All the discards are high end. Not necessarily a guaranteed one, this one, but it's a tight game, and if I sumo this and get the Hanneman, then, yeah. That is all we need. Sea Reach, White Dragon. Well, that's a problem, because you probably want Manzu as well. Got it. Well, I think we got Mungan, but Reach 7 pairs, and we got the do. Well, that's Hanneman. Plus 1,000 points off of demo as well. That will do nicely. Nice. Now to just not fluff it. Okay, so we have double Yakuhai here, which is nice for a runaway hand, if for nothing else. 16k is the gap to the next ranks down. So we probably aren't going for a Honitsu here, although 808080 is quite funny. Okay, that's a pain. Probably play green against that without any problems. Probably 9 pin actually out of this if we really wanted to. Tuso looks very dodgy, but might go for this. One away. Green could be played. 5 is also now definite safe tile, so I think this might be worth the attack. Alright, let's go white 2. White 4, we'll see. Go on then. That looks nice. It was nice. Yeah, go on then. Right, there's a slight difference with this one. This one's by Vidora. Screw it. Well, the 6 is also a safe tile to Chiral, which is the other reason that I'm halfway possible that this could work. But we are running out of time with it. Yeah. That was on this. That was a thing. Still, it's fine. I had enough of hand test out that. So, recovery then. I mean, this looks okay for recovery purposes, actually. I'd love to draw on that myself rather than have to wait for it, but that's fine. So now green to be lovely. Any middle dot tile probably helps us out as well. Karma on the attack. Okay. For over to you, man. It's our only Manzi tile, so that's our main justification there. Then we'll go white-green. But probably going to go green-white, actually, rather than that way around. Unless we draw a pair of them right this second. Dora. Okay. Drop the 8 is not the best thing in the world for us, but not necessarily terrible. And again, would have much preferred to have drawn that 9 rather than had Demo play it, but that's the way things go. Alright, Sumo from Karma. Simple's 1. 2000 moves me into the dealer button, so fine. Alright, let's see if I can counter. I mean, this is a strong start, actually. If I can look into getting the 4 on this side, then this is probably a just go for a hand. If we get any opportunities for calls, we're probably going for it here. Okay, fine. Redraw. This is less good than my last one, but hey. So if we can draw into either the east or the south for the next turn or two, that's probably going to be where we go. Immediately draw another one, so we're not going to go for 2 in the row, we are going to get a little more progression. He says, immediately drawing another useless Zozy. Okay, so south is also something to be wary of here. There's only one of those left. We'll probably be throwing that rather than anything else. But if we can pair it up in the next draw or two... Nope, no, it's gone. God darn it, we're drawing them north. We're just drawing pairs of things we don't need. Do I want to attack? It's probably going to lead me to problems if I attack this early. No, we're not going to go for it. Yeah, this hand is in no shape to compete if it goes for that kind of early call. Alright, demo with the dragon. And that's okay, actually. Alright, let's cut 8-5 and see if we can work around that way. We're unfortunately stuck in closed weights, but... there are options with this hand, I guess. Pair of 5s. I mean, we'd have to get all 3 of them, but Tanyo is a thing we could at least bluff. Problem is, 1 call against us. Is that enough of a bluff? Okay, 1 away from... actually, no, 2 away, sorry. Yeah, let's bluff it here. This is fine. Or at least put some pressure on people. Problem is we're on live draw for those two, so looks unlikely we're going to get the full lot, but never know. Might be able to draw something connected to this. Right, there we go. So we need two safe to Chiral as well, so we can go for the toy angle if we get very fortunate here. Let's see if somebody's at least considering safety against me, which is always a plus. Well, 2 more draws to hit 10 by, otherwise we kind of unfortunately failed at this, but had to be done. If we force people off the pot at the very least, they're not scoring points this round. Well, there goes that Finn Hope. One more. Only 5-man out of the last draw. 5-man, 9-man, 2-dot. Two dot 5-man then, I guess. Is there a 2-dot left? Nope, just the 5-man. Who wants to play the live 5-man? Nobody wants to play the live 5-man. But hey, I gained 3,000 points on Chiral and I'm still the dealer, so we'll take it. That was fortunate though. 1 man. No. Had 2 very initial opportunities to start making some calls. Hello Mike, how are we doing? Only got 2 full games in progress, so we're going to have to wait for things I just noticed during the queue as well, so... Hopefully the other game is wrapping up at some point soon, based on the fact they started theirs earlier than this, so we'll shuffle people around at that point. Meanwhile, 47 to make up. Good draw. Well, that gives us 4 pairs again. I don't think we're going for the 7 pairs strat, but... You never know sometimes. Alright, we're actually sooner with this one. Fine. Alright, draw one of those, draw one of those. So we're looking to pin through here rather than anything else. Actually, we're just looking for any kind of win at this point, I think. Bluffing that does not seem advisable. Also, it's a safe tile to both players, so that's our next pair we're getting rid of. Six-man would be an awesome draw, but we'd need a lot of luck to make that work for us. God damn it, we're back on the possibility plan, which is not a great thing. If he does play a 9-man, we will call it. East is also live. That's actually a little worrying. Right. Tenpai. Well, Yishanten. Come on. Nope. So we need to draw a 9-man, basically. Draw a 6-man for a 10. Still worth it, but... yeah, we need Demo to play us a 9-man. Dora in 2 directions or a live dragon. Dora. Oh, this is not going to be a good play in a moment, but we might have to make it. We need to be in 10 by the end of this. For a 10 reach. I have 1 draw, 9 tiles. Come on, 3, 6, 9. For the possible Itsus. Not quite the possible Itsus. Ah. Best for a 10 reach ever. The buttons on the side. So I'll explain these as they go. Hold on. So these are the sort of the auto buttons. So top 1, auto arrange. You kind of generally want the tiles automatically arranged for you. You can of course adjust it manually, but it kind of does things. That one is auto call win. So basically if somebody discards your winning tile, you will automatically win on it. You don't have to press the run button. And that's no cheap on cards. So basically that prevents you from having the pause to ask whether or not you actually want to call a tile. So sometimes you are in a hand which you know it can only win by sumo and you want to stay hidden. And you'd rather not have pauses on your turn. Because, you know, that can give a slight bit of information to players. Alright. Hello, kitty! Hello, kitty! This hand is kind of alright, so we play safety against the first one and we'll see what happens here. West should be fine. Isn't his wind if he's on that, awesome, but yeah, so this is where you can use the auto win button for having to necessarily be involved. So he can now go off and do things and he will automatically win. He doesn't have to interact with the game state for that. Anyway, it looks as if I'm about to lose things here. We still kind of want to go for things, really, but I think we know 1 passes. So we'd have to draw 8, we'd have to draw 7. No way we're getting 3 so past him unless he discards 1. Yeah, we need a lot of things to happen for this hand to win with, so I think we're going to take our couple of wins and just use them as... that's our banked money for this round, although we have to draw another 8, so... Oh god, if we have to try and reach this 3... Actually, that 3 was played after the reach, wasn't it? No, 1 call. North is live. but shouldn't be waiting on it. I mean, it could be, but it's an early reach. He could be waiting on anything. We'll probably play our normal-ish game around it, see if we can do anything. But actually, we've got another person to worry about here. Yeah, I think we're going to count out of this one. Well, that just makes me feel worse because I've already kind of half folded to it. Although, admittedly, demo calling his second time is definitely thing. Prepare for button mashing. Yeah, against 2 reaches, we're gonna head out of this. We see 1, 1, 4, 4, 4. Hold on. No, we don't see enough of those. 6 Fedora indicator, which it wasn't that 5. Oh well. Oh, that's great. Oh, we just drew a triplet of them as well. Okay, so we're safe for the game. So we can go 3 man, 3 man, 3 man, and just end our dealership with a slight reduction in points. Let's play another game of Good Khan, Bad Khan. Did it do? Did it do? Given no information, I say no Khan. Because that's got a chance of giving you more points, sir. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to go for that. Well, dealership is passed to you, sir. 2 hands to go. But again, we don't know the situation on the table. I mean, if you're in 4th place, then giving points to all the others so they extend their lead over you seems like a good plan. I mean, potentially you can make a comeback as well, but you know. Totally not biased. Alright, let's kick Kyril out of his dealer turn as fast as we can here. This might feel a bit aggressive given the hand's not quite there yet, but we got 2 things that we can call with. We could potentially get an 8 out of this, hope to get lucky and draw something there. We're not a million miles away from things. Draw now, because draw later is going to be a problem. So yeah, we can hope to draw a 2-5, hope to do that, yeah. We can potentially get an 8, we can potentially get a 2. You have a pause, sir. Well, let me know when it's safe to resume. Right, 1 away. Fortunately, Yama's played 2 2s and a 5. Another white doesn't really do anything for me. Reach across. Okay. Further north. Probably risk a 9 against him, but we'll see. 2-5 might come out of demo here. 6 might come out of demo as well, actually. How bad is it if I deal into him here? I'm 18k ahead. It means the game actually is kind of on. correct decision was made, apparently, but that is South Sumo. Well, South only. Trash Hand knocks Chiral out of a dealer button. And we have Dora Wests. This is kind of silly. Alright, well, let's see how this goes. We have double Yakuhai, so we're not folding. Unpause, please. Okay, fine. Restored. Yep, no specifics, please. As you can tell, Chiral is in the chat as well as other people, so yeah, we'll avoid specifics. But yeah, it is a hand. It is very much a hand. We're also one away. And it looks as if we're in the wrong Hoditsu right now. We don't need this value, but you know, since the game has been nice enough to give it to us, we're at least going to greed it. The greed monster is back, and the greed monster says attack. I mean, what's somebody going to do? Hold on to a West and just not win? Karma can't afford to do that, I don't think. Demo can't afford to do that if he wants to attack. More likely to keep a pair if he gets them, or hope for a pair. Maybe being a single weight for them, but... this is attack here. This is attack Mahjong. This is what happens when you have a double Yakuhai pair. There is only one South left in the game as well, so that's another indicator that somebody might play that if they get one. Because you know it's generally useless. Still draw a 4-dot and just have the thing here. If somebody does play a free... probably go for it, but I'm gonna follow up 5-dot here. Okay, maybe not. Huh. I just don't know what the correct decision is here. See, there was not... we could have played the freeze. The downside... oh, pause, please. Yep. Paused. Yeah, this now becomes a problem, I think. So we'll play that now. That might be a deal in. Wasn't. Who's going to risk a West, though? That's the question. But we can't really play the freeze. It might have been better to try and toss 3-dot, but... conceal 4-6, call him the 5, and that was the second call. Well, the middle dot tiles have gone. Okay, attack, but no important tiles are coming out. That is a problem. But not a massive one. This is potentially a bigger problem. The greed monster. The greed. Well, it's free demo, so we'll see. All the 8s are gone, so that was a reasonable cut there. mean, the weight's not excellent, I'll be honest, but Carl will have to be on a monster hand for me to worry about dealing in, and he looks like he might be playing safety. Demo needs an even bigger hand, really. Well, obviously needs a really big hand. Needs me to deal into it as well, so we're just going to take the Tenpai for the big monster hand. If somebody wants to play South in the last discard, South for free. Okay, Karma also had Tenpai. Yep, still waiting. So we draw on pair of Wests again. I mean, any quick hand will do it, but yeah, that was. I wouldn't say that. I delved into a Mungan. I delved into a Hanuman earlier of Kairos, so we're not in perfect form. I've been lucky rather than good, and that's another. Alright, dear God. Fine. Fine. The luck is on. I actually want to close this game off rather than worry about things, but hey. Back in. Okay, game is restoring. Alright, Ishanten. Fortunately, relying on the 7 is a bit awkward, but you never know. We might get something that gets us around that. And at least knowing where 2 of Adora are means that the chances of us dealing into a high value hand are lowered. Okay, so we're going to assume Karma's in Tenpai, or at least close. Alright, Tenpai on the free man. Not the greatest of hands, I'll be honest, but you never know. Sometimes this is going to be enough to somebody. You can always draw it. But yeah, Manzu, basically I've played an 8-man and that is the only... Oh, me and Kyril have both played one 8-man and that is the only Manzu plays anybody. So this free is almost certainly not coming out. But if we're in Tenpai, we can instantly draw it. And with 2 calls and a Yakuhai definitely, they've got to at least be somewhat concerned about it. If Karma genuinely doesn't need it, he will have to play it. Dodgy, but I think it was worth staying in it. Worst, I guess, is just the Honitsu up top, but we have 2 Dora again, so... Well then, we'll play the 4s. Goodness knows what we do after this. I have 1 more discard to make. So I guess he was working out whether it was going ahead of Chiral. I assume that does, so we're not going to complain. 1 error. That's Mongan. Plus, oh, exact tie, but priority win for Demo. Oh, that was a tough game. I mean, yeah, as I said, I was in form, but there was also definitely some blundering going on. Yeah, I definitely had some luck there. Not gonna deny that. I thought you were working out. That's why I assumed you had the Mungan and we're just trying to calculate that. Yeah, huzzah. Right, so we have Super Mike and Demo ready for a game. I might just do commentary on a game here. We'll see if we have enough people for that. But actually, it looks like we're on exact 8, so we might not. In which case, I'll draw in a moment. But let's go and watch the other game that's currently in progress. If that's if that's about to end, we might shuffle people around or wait for another game. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna wait and do a shuffle. Unfortunately, this is when I had the match paused because Sela was out. So we'll watch the end of this and then we'll shuffle the tables. But I think we're down to just one table being run, so I will probably be commentating on the next game. Annoyingly, with the match pause screen and the fact that I can't move it, I can't even see what the current scores are. Oh boy. Still, we can at least open people's hands and just see if we can work some things out here. So, Mono is Ishanten with South Dora. South Dora Chanter, actually, potentially. Oh, there we go. Right, unpause. So, Mono has been given points by people. I'm fairly certain I told you that's not on. Well, I mean, that's just pure reason to go back, but I understand you're tired, so it's fine. Mahjong is a game that occasionally requires you to be able to mentally think on the fly, so yeah, tiredness does not help you play Mahjong. Yarok looks as if he is reasonable. Actually, Ishanten for a pair weight, I think, or, you know, that kind of thing looks like for most likely. Solar is a bit... He's got 2 Dora, but his hand looks a mess after this many tiles. I assume folding or just not doing a lot. Yeah, so Prospero potentially the one with a comeback hand then. At least based on casual observation, but Mono has got himself into this now, so he's now Chanter, South, Dora. I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't. Mahjong is a cruel game. You can play perfectly and just fail through no fault of your own. But you only know that by review and analysis. Alright, so Yarok, I think, has just hit 10 by reaching on a 4-8. And Prospero has a better weight. So whether Prospero wants to go with this. Decides to go for it. So, well, I say he's got a better weight, actually. He's on a 5-6 pair weight versus the 4-8 pair weight. And there's a 5 already out. Both 5s are gone. This is a hell weight. No, it isn't actually. Actually, I should show winners. Dealing tile. There we go. I don't normally have that on, but I don't know why I don't have it on. Yeah, so unfortunately it doesn't look as if Prospero's got a winner here, because Solar has both for 6s in hand. The only chance this will happen is if he breaks this up for something, and I doubt he's going to go for it. So I think Prospero's is a dead reach, which means Yarok's probably got the advantage here, but it's going to get to the end. Nobody's going to deal in that random 9 because Prospero has them all. So free player to Empire, Solar player's dealership moves on. South free. People have given Mono points. I'm fairly certain I told you this was not in the rules. Totally unbiased watcher of the game, of course. Now, Mono's genuinely a strong player, so it takes a lot to beat him, and we need to beat him a lot. Definitely has points for consistency, anyway. mean, even his bad patch was really just a bunch of thirds and the only one win in a stream, which, you know, if that's the worst you're doing, that's about what I do on average. Win one, lose one, middle one. Which is no benefit, which is no at all reasoning why I don't want to play another game. I don't think that necessarily works because he'll out efficiency you, because Mono is a very efficient player. And he will win on efficiency more often than you win with Yakumans. Anyway, we have Karma and Super Mike currently queued up. Obviously, we are waiting for this game, but we'll see how things are at that point. Not sure I do either. Alright, so how are things looking here? Prospero kind of giving himself options here. Most likely Tanyo. I mean, he's got Sanchi Kodoko as a potential option here, but obviously there's also the consideration for 7 pairs, so we'll see how that develops, but I imagine that 9 will be got rid of fairly soonish. Mono actually has the last dealer turn, so big lead on dealer turn to go. Well, I mean, you and I both know the number of Yakuman we've actually got versus the amount of games we've actually played is ridiculously disproportionate. I have played hundreds, thousands of cans of Mahjong, and I think I can count on one hand the number of Yakumans I can prove I've gotten. Maybe 2. I mean, I've got a couple on time as well, I guess, but yeah. The only one I've hit twice is Kokaji, and in both cases I wasn't going for it. Well, not until late, anyway. It took about three years of Tiles of Confusion before I ever hit one on stream, anyway. I know that much. Oh yeah, and if you include Sanma, I guess. But I'm not counting Sanma in terms of Yakuman only Mahjonging. And I'm certainly also not counting my Tetsuya games. I could definitely get Yakuman in Tetsuya. Alright, Prospero is now... No, decides not to go for the 7 pairs. Is going for the Tanyo, then. Sancho Kudoko. It could be a thing. It's unlikely to be a thing, but it could be a thing. Where are the 8s? 1 that can be drawn, and there's 1 8 that looks reasonably loose in Sola's hand. Sancho Kudoko! The impossible dream! Will the 8 come out of Sola's hand? Kokushi twice, Suanko twice. I think I've had an all honors. That might be it, you know. Oh, and also, of course, the Ryu Iso. I've got a Ryu Iso as well. That was live free player, though, so I'm not sure we count that. I've got close. I've got 12 a couple of times. But, I mean, counted Yakuman tend to rely on nonsense happening. Oh, yeah, you have that double on your record, don't you? Yeah. Come on, play the 8. So, I realise it's not a good play for you, but I want you to play that 8. It's a terrible play, and I realise you've already made it. History has happened. But I want you to play that 8 dot. Oh, and you can play that 8 dot here. Darn it, he's folding. He's being sensible. Alright, I'll stop willing a thing that can't happen to happen. Wrong 8. Okay, additional points for Mono and additional points for Prospero, which gives Prospero a reasonable shot at coming back into 3rd. It would still require a Hanneman plus... Actually, given how many resticks and bonuses are in there, yeah, Munken's actually enough for Prospero to take 2nd. Munken direct hit on Mono would actually be enough for him to win the game. Well, let's see if he manages it. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for a mono there. Well, defying the maths, but honestly, Prospero, it's not impossible for this hand to make Mungan. And if he can make Mungan with this hand, get the direct hit off mono, that will be enough for him to win the game. Even if he doesn't, a Mungan will give him second. Oh, now mono, I think, is debating things. I think he's probably going to switch to Chanter rather than push this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're always rooting for the comeback. So, what other comebacks potentially on? Well, with all the reach sticks, Solar only needs a Mungan as well, actually. So let's see how likely that is. Reasonable. Oh, well, I guess this isn't continuing on from there. Still, yeah, this is allowing people into the game who aren't necessarily there. Yarok also same thing. If he gets a direct hit Mungan off of mono, I think that's enough. 8,000 up to 12,000 because of the current reach sticks plus free repeats. So it's 12,900 for a Mungan, which is enough for either of these players. Actually, it wouldn't be enough for Prospero to hit top. He would take the lead, but then we go into West round, and he would be dealer for that. So that's still, I would consider it advantageous. No spoilers, please. I've just realised the game has ended. Does Prospero make the comeback to end all comebacks? Does, in fact, Yarok or Solar? Let's find out. Well, Mono just going for any win because any win will do. I'll be tempted to call this, actually, but Tanyo and Tudora might not be enough. Gets him third, though, which I think is where the consideration comes in. As much as Mungan is the plan... No, he's carried on. Okay. So he is aiming for at least second. So he wants that Mungan. I mean, he is Ishanten for it as well, so... But that was a call for Tenpai. He's just given up there, which is, you know... Mahjong is situational. Any other position, let's be definitely correct call. I can understand the aiming for slightly higher. Let's hope it pays off for him. Fortunately, all the free ban are turning up now, which is exactly what he needs. So he's now in a hell weight for that free. Or an effective hell weight, anyway. So again, you could call this and be in Tenpai for the last free, which again is a hell weight. But... Oh, this is, as I say, this is a really tricky one. Because Freehan, even with the extra 4,900 points, doesn't feel like enough. Although now we've got an extra 1,000 on the board, so... So we'll see. 9's a safe tile. So what's that? 7 pairs waiting on the 8 man. 8, so rather. I mean, not the worst, actually. So they're playing a 5 is dodgy. What are you on? Dora... Okay, so, yeah. Ishanten yourself with 2 Dora. I can see why that's hard to give up. Especially since you have the best chance of anybody for a comeback. You don't even need the manga, and I think you're fine with fine with almost anything if you've got 2 Dora. Mono's hand is the slowest of anybody's, but then he's got the less... He doesn't need to go for this. Double Dora for Prospero. Okay, this now is there. This is Mungan now if he finishes this. Any call. Yep. I mean, why not? Whoa, whoa, why not? Why not? I mean, unless he's aiming much bigger, but... Oh, I can't see you not taking Dora 4 in this position. Which would have actually, I think, have done it had he have pulled... Yeah. I think he's got to attack this, surely. Nope. I don't know. I might have different priorities in this Mononoke Yakuman. No, Prospero's a good player. Prospero's a very good player, and I get why he's doing this, but this is a position where you're in last place. That being said, he does draw into it. And Mono, of course, is miles from... I mean, it might have been banking on Mono being a Tenpai. I just saw the progression there, and I think that would have worked out brilliantly for him had that have worked. Alas, Mono picks up points. Grumble, grumble, grumble. The mountain grows ever higher. Okay. So we have 5 people currently queued up. 6 people currently queued up. Including myself, that's 7. So how do we want to split the games up? So we're going to put Super Mike in because he's not played a game at this point. So he is completely neutral. It's just how do we want to queue up the rest of this? Or more to the point, who's happy to wait and hope that we get another game already? I'm in danger. You're not in danger, sir. Okay, whatever. I mean, I'm happy to roll dice for it. I've got dice, so I can go randomize. Mono and Prospero say they can wait. Okay, that's fine. That queues that up. Okay, so it's Super Mike, Demo, Solar, and Karma. So Prospero and Mono will play another game, assuming we get one more player, and I can join in with that. But we will wait. I mean, yeah. I mean, with the amount of bonus points, and obviously I'm seeing that with the perspective of noticing the bonus points are there, I feel that you could have attacked that towards the end where you were in 4th. But again, that's backseat Mahjong, and I've got none of the pressures on it. I'm not thinking what you're thinking at the time, so pinch of salt, definitely. But I feel that it was probably worth attacking that a little earlier. Given Mungan would have got you second, Mungan off Mono would have won you the game. Especially once the other Riichis came in. Alright, that's fine. So we are genuinely at, well, 9 apparently, but hey. No. Kairo's advice must be treated with either ignorance, completely filing it away under ZZZ in the folder and ignoring it, or, you know, he just wins the game and you can't ignore it anymore. One of those 3. Yeah, I mean, when that first door, it was the first door that came on. Obviously, you drew the last one there. A truck full of salt is absolutely perfectly acceptable to accept his. Indeed. I mean, actually, let's go analyze that one. Oh, unfortunately, actually, no, we can do this. We're not queued up. Let's just go back and have a quick look at the position at that stage. So going to turn 10 here. So this is kind of where this is going off from this one. So no. Let's put the dealing tiles and things on. That's fine. So when does this 2 come out? Okay, so that's the reach, which is fair enough. You want to obviously not deal in the reach. This is obviously going to cause you any kind of problem. 9 is a fine discard there. That is a bit of a risky one in my opinion, but hey. Again, he's with the 5,000 now, 300 points plus onto the value of any win, and the gap being not insurmountable here, and 2 Dora in hand. Yeah, Solar has to go for everything there, so playing the risky tile now probably makes no difference to try and do it later. Unfortunately for you, Prospero, Mono was kind of out at this point already. Yeah, so that's your pair of Dora. So you now got Dora free. Obviously play the 5, which is fine and correct. Then I think it was here. So you can call cost for 6. You're in a free 6 weight. How many of those are left? Admittedly, they're kind of locked, looking at where they are in people's hands. 3 free's already gone. 6 is in. Maybe that wouldn't have paid off. Still, I would have taken that Tenpai. Almost no doubts. Just put myself in a free 6 weight for a Mungan. Yeah. It's South 4. You're also in last, which is the consideration, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to go too much into that. I've already discussed it a little bit, but hey. That is the thing. Anyway, that killed a little bit of time. We still have to wait for the other game to be viewable in 83 seconds. I mean, you were folding. I doubt you'd play the 6 there. You might have done eventually. I should have checked whether you ever did, but again, that's not information you would have at the time with that. Based on what you could see, you were relying on the 6, but there were still potentially 6s you could draw. Not saying it was a good weight, but obviously last place, Mungan for second place, and Mungan off mono for the win. Or at least put it into a West round. So I'm not quite sure on the points situation there. Alas. Right, 40 seconds, and we can go and watch another game of Mahjong. And I can comment on that, get on the mistakes made in there. Oh dear, is somebody doing Carnage again? Well, we're going to have a game of... Yep, no, that's absolutely right. If you call a sequence, or if you, in fact, actually, if you call a triplet as well, this applies, you cannot discard the tile that you could have used in that sequence. So if you have a triplet of 5s in your hand, say, somebody discards another 5, you can call that. You can still call a 5 for a pawn, but you can't then play a 5 because it's one of the tiles that you could have used in that sequence without the call. Anyway. Same thing for sequences, so obviously you can't discard a tile that that you could have used in the sequence you called for. I mean, you got fairly fortunate with the East only here. That's the only one on the board anyway. Anyway, well, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, no worries. It is a rule that's worth remember, need to be aware of, but usually you're not going to call a tile and get rid of something. The only exception, I guess, is if you're trying to force a Tanyo. So you might call a 6, 7, 8, call a 6 for a 6, 7, 8, discard a 9 for Tanyo. But most parlors say you can't do that. Yeah, because that wasn't a tile that you could use in that particular call. Or at least, you know, the tile that completes it on either end is what I mean. South Khan? I mean, South Khan could be a thing here. He's Shanten, so might be a South Khan. If he draws a 7, that's basically Chanter, so yeah, he'd probably go for it at that point. But hey, let's see how this goes. Could also be an East one as well. I mean, as I said it, I actually thought that could be misconstrued as well, but yeah. But basically, if you have 7, 8, 9 in your hand, you can't call a 6 and then toss for 9 afterwards. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's a 4 actually improves his hand a little bit. He can still go that way around with it. He might actually be going for deliberate carnage. I don't know from Sailor actually. We'll see. Karma though has the pair of Dora Dragons late in the game. That's always something to be aware of because that's going to screw somebody's hand up or force them into a difficult decision. Also, Demo is now Tenpai for... He is Southwind as well, so he can win with a 6. But 9 is far more likely to come out, especially since we've actually played quite a few high value ones at this point. Anyway, that is a dragon only weight for Karma now, but it is a Mungan if he pulls that off. He is though committed to discard everything, which is sometimes dodgy. White Dragon, Live Dragon, what does Sailor do? Plays it. Super Mike with a call. Gonna go for the grief on Itsu, isn't he? I probably would have played the 9 there, in all honesty. I realise it wouldn't have dealt in, but... There's the Khan. Who's hit Khandora? Demo has hit Khandora. Oh boy, that's not good. I mean, Possibility was definitely on. Look, you're the one who's got on me about always trying to force Possibilities. Actually, I rarely force a possibility, so I've got to be honest, but you know. I mention it as a possibility quite a lot. It's rare that I go and force it. Made it work against you. You did. I dealt into that. It betrayed me again, as I knew it would. I did have a possibility in the game actually. It was my first 369 reach. With 9 winners with only 1 draw left. That was a fun one. Anyway, still following Super Mike for the moment. No, it wasn't a possibility in that case. That betrayed me as well, but still. It was good enough at the time. Especially since I wasn't expecting it to work. Right, so what are we looking at for this? Karma, I mean, that's I think the first strike of the game, really. Just a mung in there. So Super Mike with some points to make up. Demo, dealer turn, and looking reasonable actually as a dealer hand. I wouldn't complain, especially you got the double tone possibility. Karma still needs to get rid of some dragons. Mike's hand's looking okay. Actually, yeah, your hand is quite well along at this point. Okay, Demo going aggressive. So he's going all in and needs to have that east. So he's banking on that happening at some stage. I usually don't like that play. At least not if you're reliant on getting it. I always like to wait. Although admittedly this does mean you lose hands on the which you'll eventually get from that. You know, you'll eventually draw it and therefore it's fine. But for every one of those, you have games where you just trap yourselves with a reduced hand for a hand you can't win with. Or worse, a hand you then have to discard your bonus tiles for later. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mahjong is situational. There's occasions to do it. Certainly. I mean, if nothing else, if you want to bluff play, this is one of the best ways to do it. Because if you could get 2 quick calls, that's asserting enough dominance that he could just try and ride that out. As it happens, I think Super Mike's going to give him it. No, he didn't. Okay. But isolated reliance is usually a bad plan. So he's made 2... Okay. Oh. Wasn't paying attention, and that was far too fizzy. Yeah, there was... Disaster's happening. Unfortunately, as Carol is well aware, as I am well aware, and as everybody who's played on Tiles of Confusion is well aware, people don't respect bluff plays at all. And the fact that he's got 2 calls and Endadora showing... I mean, eventually the East came, so it's now fixed. But... I mean, that's sometimes the justification. You're trying to slow people's hands up. That's more important than necessarily taking a hand you can win with. Just slowing people up so you eventually get it. And that's a sumo. So Demo gets the double tom. And Dora. 2,000 all. So Demo's off to the pink. I expect you in Demo to play smart. Yeah, I mean, that's... I suppose that is the thing. If you know the players and know how they typically play, bluffs can work a lot better. That being said, I've got in the habit of ignoring any of your emotions, emoticon things, Kyril, largely because I don't like them, but also because I don't trust them in the slightest. For any reason. So I automatically assume they're bluffs. And I'm far more interested in facts that I can ascertain. I mean, no, it's fine. You're absolutely fine. To be fair, Mono's the worst for just spamming them like every now and then when he's winning. That annoys me. He's perfectly entitled to it, and it's absolutely fair. Exactly. Emote when you're not bluffing. That's fine. But I'm still going to ignore it for the most part and try and use the information I actually can gather from the table. I might not be successful in that, but, you know, I'm not going to care about your bluff. Yeah. Mono just using emoticons when he's about to win. That's the worst thing for me. Anyway, I'm not paying attention to this game at all. Demo has gone for a Riichi on the east. He's waiting on a 2-5. So this is just a Pinfu Riichi hand. Fortunately, Super Mike is dealt in. Well, you say rare instance. I mean, I've been known to float a Khan tile till later in the hand. Oh, yeah, no, you're talking about the thing. Okay, ignore me. Yeah, there's really no good reason to do this. Because even if you're doing it for safety, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because you've just reduced your hand and given up 3 safe tiles. Also, hi there. So, Steve Mike with some points to recover at this stage. Demo has all the momentum right now, although his hand's not the greatest. It still looks fairly good. Solo's hand actually come to that. If Solo can lock into that free man early enough, he's probably off. Karma, a couple of things to get rid of, but it's generally looking okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes a floating tile makes sense, especially if it's one that you're... Especially if it's something like a dragon, you then have a definite safe tile for when you need it if you want it, and if it gets to the point where you can Khan and safely you're in Tenpai, yeah, fine, Khan away, have a go. True. Can use it for sequencing. Though I would say just calling for the sake of killing an Ipatsu usually isn't worth it, although definitely something to consider half the time. I mean, it's fine, but I wouldn't do it just for Ipatsu break. Most of the time. It, again, depends on points and current situations, but I think just calling for the sake of an Ipatsu break rather than relying on a safe discard later down the line is probably the wrong way around to do things. I think Nageshi would be... I mean, this hand's not bad. Mike can progress this. He probably wants to cut one of his pairs, admittingly. This probably could have afforded to cut the 9s or the 1s here. But, no, this isn't a Nageshi hand at this point. You don't want to even think about Nageshi until you're on the last row, is my general advice on this. Because as we all know, it is an impossible hand. It cannot be done. Any evidence to the contrary is clearly lies. Lies and mistruths. Okay, demo with a Khan. Yeah, so he is in a 5-8. He's already there. Tanyo, trying to add some value. Unfortunately, his hand is Tanyo only. So that might encourage people to attack if they've got Wests, which of course they don't. He got away with that. It still might encourage people to reach, though. So, a couple away for Super Mike. Karma is getting there. Draws a 2, cuts to 6. Three-sided way. That'd be a perfect reach if he can get that way around. Meanwhile, what's Sailor up to? Getting there. So I would say in this position. Not drawing the 7. Where's the 7 coming from? I'm assuming misclick, or because I'm not seeing 7 as safe there. I mean, it's not the worst, but you know it's likely Tanyo based on what you can see. So this is why you tend to focus on the 1s, 9s, honors a little bit. It's still possible he's on for a bonus triplet, although the only one he could be waiting on, I guess, is East. Because it's only no, you see 2 of those, so it can't be East. Could be nope, can't be any for dragons either. So it's fairly certain it's a Tanyo hand. Okay. Super Mike, I think we need to have a discussion about Yaku at some point. Because I can't... There's no point in bluffing against Demo. He's clearly got a hand. And I doubt he's going to fold to anything at this point. Unless you can prove... Unless it's a reach. The reach is the only thing that's going to make Demo fold here. And only because his hand is only worth... Well, you know, Tanyo only. It's worth nothing. But he's not going to fold to random calls. He will be aware of them, I guess, but the only thing you could really have that would worry him is going to be stuff like Tanyo. And that is the 1 4 7. Oh, okay, Sumo, just can't find it. It was a good reach, though. Well, 2100. Repeat number 3. Demo has also been dealt 2 Dora. Demo, please be nerfed. You're at 50k. You're nearly at 50k and we haven't even broken into East 3 yet. Alright, so the Super Mike comeback train then. I realise Karma's got a good hand, but I'll go with that in a moment. Possible Itsu? I mean, if he wanted to go aggressive, this might be a reasonable Chinitsu attempt. He needs the points, and I think Chinitsu is something you could try for with this. Solar has got... Actually, Solar's got a monster hand there, at least in terms of speed. He's E-Shanted already. 3 away. Karma, though, as I said, he's got double Yak... No, single Yakugai. Oh, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. I saw all the honors there and just thought that was a lot better than it seemed. Shame. But he can't do anything with the South. If South was a bonus tile, this would be fine. But the fact that it isn't means he's reliant on the white. And he can't really go into a Honitsu. He could, I suppose he could attempt it, but hey. Alright, Super Mike's Chinitsu building up now. Can still do this. Chinitsu, Itsu, reach is at least 9. So come on, 6 dot. 6 dot draw for Super Mike. Unfortunate. But this is also, now he's got this close, there's absolutely, there's no reason not to start calling tiles if they start coming out of Karma. Even a 1 isn't terrible for him there. I mean, it could lead him to another weight that he needs a 3 for, but there's nothing at all wrong with trying to speed up the clock a bit. Even a Chinitsu bluff is probably enough to make Demo think about things. Ah. I'm assuming you're relatively new to the game, Super Mike, from that call, unfortunately. So you're basically relying on an Itsu here. So you need to repair up your 2 of the 4, waiting on a 6 for opening. Oh, okay, Itsu. Waiting on a 2 or a 4. Actually, 2 or 7. 7 work? Oh, more fine now. He's sumoed. Okay. Itsu, sumo. Well, Itsu only for 1100. Yeah, I mean, he won the hand, killed the dealer, button off there, but I feel that in last place he should have gone for the Chinitsu. The 1-suit hand, I mean. Anyway. Let's switch focus. So, Demo has just lost. We're going to follow the North Sea. I always follow the dealer. We're going to follow the North Sea instead. So, he's in a position of... I'd have been inclined. That seemed like a reasonable open Shinitsu hand. I would have probably gone that way around with it. At least without much of a point gap to make up. Mind you, I'm not sure actually Karma gave him any opportunities. Yeah, 30k lead. So basically, Karma is... Demo is now... has got 2 options here, and there's 2 schools of thought how you play this much of a lead. You either play completely passively, which means you don't attack unless you know where the Dora are, generally speaking. Hi, Miguel. Or you go for quick attacks and try and end the game quickly. Both are valid, both have their merits, and you can even switch between them as and when. Generally speaking, my condition for attacking is, do I know where the Dora are? Because if I know where most of the Dora are, I know I'm not going to deal into anything massive by overplaying, usually. For a counterpoint to this, my last game, South 2, I deal into Cairo for a Hanneman. But there's no need to force hands there. I don't like taking risks when I've got this much of a lead. I'm happy to let them play on. I mean, he moves the game on. I mean, currently, you know, you've got minimum of 6 games to go. So, I mean, getting it down to 5 is just less time for everybody else to manage things. True, but you've got a 29,000 point lead. And if they're sumoing or taking wins off other people, then it's actually more likely they're going to bust the other players out before they crack into your 50k. And besides which, you don't need leads unless you're in a tournament setting, which I guess this kind of is. But in terms of actually just coasting out the game and winning, I'm fully okay with that. You obviously don't ignore hands when they come up, but you don't go out of your way to try and win points. Points don't matter except the points Mono has for purposes of making him lose them. Yeah, I mean, this is the tournament setting, so points matter. I'd still probably be inclined to just take the win bonus and run with it. Oh, he's lost his... See, this is the time when you would attempt the Nageshi. But, you know, you've got this much of a lead, you might as well. You'd lose nothing by trying it. Super Mike has just ruined the Nageshi attempts. Yeah, I've got... I'm not saying don't take wins. I'm saying that don't try and force yourself if you don't know where the Dora are. In this case, there are no Wests on board, so... Well, there's one West. Very possible somebody has them. Is that... Oh, I thought that was a Doko attempt from Karma. That would have been awesome. So he's in a free 6 weight, which could happen. 2-6 is not on the board at the moment. I don't think Free's coming out of Sailor anymore. No, you draw that too. I mean, I don't expect Freeze to come out in most people's hands, generally speaking. Which is why 3-6 and 4-7 are the worst things you can be waiting on. And I generally find 4-7 worse, although there's no mathematical reason why 4-7 should be worse than 3-6. That's just my impressions on things, I guess. Okay, we have one more slot open for another game, but... So waiting on one more for one more game, if people want to do that. Just sumo. I mean, just sumo's fine. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing I would be perfectly fine. This is a perfectly valid, just stay calm, take a sumo if it happens. No need to reach it. No need to play anything too dodgy. You can fold this if you wanted to. Yep. And if sumo happens, sumo happens. Alright, you're going to make me play a third game so I lose all my points. Is that what's happening now? I think that might be what's happening. I mean, I'm happy for sumo only in that position. Anyway. I'm going to exit this game, and I think I'm going to join in for one more. So, currently we have Prospero, Mono, Licane, and myself going into what is going to be my last game. I didn't want to play another one, in all honesty. Well. Time to lose all those points I won. Time to give Mono all of those points, actually. Come to that. Alright, let's go. So, Mono to my left, Prospero across, and Licane on the right. We have a... Yeah, it's okay. I've definitely been dealt worse. Alright, no worries, Kyle. Thanks for joining us. This is one way or another going to be the last game of the night for me, at least, so... Alright, bonus time. I'm actually reasonable enough that I could go for this. Alright, so Licane with the initial east, but no double tone. So if you're west, we got things... Might be worth trying to force that one-sided. But west should be of almost no value to anybody else, so... There we go, west established. So 8 or 2 for Tenpai or the 8 man. So ideally 8 man really. Oh, that'll do. Fortunately 9 is Vidora. I think if we do this, we're probably going to go with the 8 anyway. This is... Yeah, this is the thing. We might even calm this, I don't know. Alright, 5-8. So 6 left on both sides. Probably should have been a little more aware of this, actually, but hey. And I guess we can still come too. Although that does lead us to Chankan positions. Alright, Juso, reach from Prospero. Brief in safe against him. Not necessarily safe to Licane though. Cheat. And 5 or 8? No. But definitely Tenpai. And C mode. Okay, fine. So deal a win for Prospero. But hey, no Ifatsu. Alright, so Prospero will start. East 1, repeat. Dora Dragon in my opening hand. Lovely. Let's see if we get another one. So I'll play the east rather than the south here, just because this is almost certainly going to be our problem tile. So reducing the number of problem tiles gives us some more additional chances of going into a single weight on this later down the line, which is the most likely progression route. We're unlikely to draw another one. It could happen, but I'm assuming it's not. Mono's the only person we care about wanting that, and we'd get another draw if that happened. A call from either of the other two would suggest probably a Honitsu. Oh, okay. Oh, one west has been played. I imagine 8's going to be fine, but now that white dragon is really stuck. Might even just play my 2-so here. Third Hatsu. Well, the worst thing is Mono wins on priority. I still need to get some points over him. Oh well. So Prospero has pulled off a couple of big wins. Right. I think we've had enough of this now. This hand is good. So, shouldn't or a 2, currently we're looking at. If we can get the 7 off of Mono, that'd be awesome. Failing that, anything would do here, I think. Oh, perfect. Alright, so we're in a 2.5 so weight. Very early Tempai. We might be able to sneak this. Downside is now, if we draw a 3, we have to discard it again. But I mean, third game, this is typically what happens. Though in fairness, this isn't the worst thing. I normally lose points to Mono. That's the one I mostly care about with this. As long as I finish last, generally I'll be alright. Sumo. Shouldn't do a 2. So nothing game-breaking, but enough to put myself into second. So we'll take it. I hope to, you know, build on this, but you know, momentum killing is a thing that we need to do occasionally. There's actually a good start, actually. If we can get lucky enough to draw a 5, lucky enough to draw a 7, this is pretty perfect. I mean, even that's not bad. That gives us a 2-sided weight on 2-5 here. 6 becomes loose. Just need to get rid of these, I guess. Alright, that gives us a 4-6-8. So we're fine with that. Still need to draw a lucky 7 if we can. 1 does nothing for us. I mean, 4 does something. I guess we get rid of 8 man here. The marginal upside of drawing a 7 doesn't really give us that much more benefit than what we already had, because that gives us 5, 6, 7 anyway. Rather than 6, 7, 8, pair of 5s and at least 4. So, we'll go with that. Yeah, I think this is going to be better shape than this and gives us a possible upside of going Ipeiko. We'd also potentially cut the 1 here if we draw a 5. Okay, potential Ryan Baker on, but we'll see. Good news is we know where Vidora are, so Yeah, we're going to 8 so here. I'm kind of worried with that, but we'll see. Now we can follow up. Can't go for a reach just yet, though. Epeiko. This will be a 4-10 wait unless we get the other 4 dot though. Which obviously now it being a Dora is a problem. Six is safe to mono, so that's our plan if this goes wrong. Red is safe to mono as well. And there's the deal in. It is a cheap one, but obviously dealer. And 29. So Arcane loses a few more points, and mono has a repeat. Okay. We have Dora 2 in this opening hand. Unfortunately, the rest of the hand is not great. If a 6 comes out early, we can bluff this, but I doubt it's going to happen. Mono is already being aggressive. Well, let's give you an East. Had to be done, because if that was going to be a problem, I need to know about it now. And I need to counterattack with Dora if this is going to happen. We're not a million miles away from this, you know. Luck into a 5, luck into another pair. I think we can get rid of 4-6 if he hasn't played any Sozi types yet. Oh, red's live. Fine, we'll get rid of this. Double tone and Dora. Depressingly, that's me giving mono points. Well, not unexpected. Had to try for something with this hand though. And again, not getting a lot of good help. Now we'll see. Can certainly develop, and we're not doomed yet, so... we just need to shift the momentum here and not have another disaster like that if we can avoid it. And that, though, is an okay draw. Admittingly, not the greatest right now, but it's at least a little bit of progression. And 2 definite safe tiles if we want them. Okay, Nishanten. Shanten on the 5 though. This is a situation where I probably toss the red dragons if I hit Tempai right now, unless I hit... I need to roll a 5. That probably solves it. That actually might do something. Yeah, let's toss my reds now. We know the reds aren't going to help us, but we might be able to get a reasonable Tanyo weight here. You can go 6-9, giving us Riichi Peiko, 2 Dora. Or Reach 2 Dora, whatever. Fortunately, we are being chased. Okay, 5 winning tiles left for Reach potentially pinned food. Actually, no, it wouldn't be pinned food, would it? No, it would. Pair and run plus. No, actually, it's pair weight. Reach Tanyo, Dora 2. No Batsu. Yeah, 3 tile weight lost to a single weight again. Okay. Well, I knew this was likely. God damn it. Oh well. Can I stop drawing the closed weights that I don't want? Alright, there's 1. Getting there. The question is, do I want to stay in the east weight here? This is a potential option. Drawing east here would be absolutely massive. That is not ideal. There's additional Dora, but we may have to play that. More likely we're going to be going into the Honitsu anyway. Well, that's killed the chance of us going for that, I guess. Two away. Ishanten. Ah. Yeah, I guess it is Ishanten if I do these. South doesn't really do anything for us, so we're going to skip it. And that, though, earns us Tempai on the 6. Could have gone for the 4, decided to go for the 6. See if CG weighting matters, but this is ultimately not a valuable hand. Unless we're going to luck into some carnage, which is looking unlikely given North is there. Still, as a green dragon we potentially rolled. Nobody would have kept it for this long, surely. Well, that'll do. So I'm more relying on that last South, actually, than anything else. 3 tiles, but one of them is far more likely to be played by people. Play south for safety, please. Yeah, we can't afford to fold this. We've got to go for it. Last place. Mono again? Interesting. You're trying to make this suicide running, aren't you? Oh, come on. Oh well. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Alright. Still have a deal turn left. It's not over. You're happy to? This is definitely my last one. Okay, so the comeback situation then. Yeah, it'll solve itself, don't worry about it. I mean, the problem for me in this case is that we had some bad carnage in the last game and I got punished for that random 2. I didn't have a lot of options though, keeping it. But yeah, things not generally working out right now. I had my luck earlier, also my concentration, also my ability. All of those factors. And unfortunately, after getting rid of the honor tiles, I am left with a mess of things that are still relatively unconnected. Yeah, 6-4 draws and I'm still like this. Maybe I just fold and go for the impossible hand. Downside is I'm likely to deal in with that impossible hand. Yeah. I was about to say, there's no point in going for it. I mean, at least another 4 in hand before I'd worry about potentially trying it. But yeah, that's just a sign of absolutely zero luck in this game thus far. So we're going to hope for South as a recovery then. North does nothing for us. Yeah, these are in wind, but... closest thing we are to, if anything, is 7 pairs, but now we're so late in the day for that. Worse, I don't even have any safe tiles against this. Such is the annoying frustrations of Mahjong. But well, two more tiles to get through. 2 dot gives us another one, so we just need 1 safe tile, and I guess we can risk the east if it comes to it. Is a bonus tile, but we got 2 of them. That'd be an exact requirement for solving that. I've got 1 more draw now because of that, darn you. There's nothing wrong with playing defense, in all honesty, but at this point, need a comeback hand. Or 3. I mean, this isn't a bad start. This is a great start, actually, come to that. Fortunately, people are attacking aggressively, so we'll see whether we get a chance to finish it, but let's close that off. So I'm looking here, Ishan 10. If we draw a 6, we have a 2-sided weight. So Riichi pin Foodora. Failing that, drawing no 8 wouldn't be too bad. We can cut the 4 and go for a 2-sided weight on that side. Downside is, Mono is determined to just start aggressively calling everything when I need a comeback. Which again, he's want to do. South is nothing for us. So ideally we want to go 3-man, 3 dot. Well, actually now we want to go 6-man, 6 dot. Actually 6-man or 6 dot gives us 10 by if we manage to toss Fedora. So potential Riichi pin for Sanchku. Which is a comeback hand. Well, not a direct comeback hand, but it's a big enough hand that I can get to Mungan. Potentially Hanneman. Let's just go. I'll honestly take Pinfu at this point. I'll take the lower value stuff, but I've got to at least hope. Yeah, we're going for this. Reach on the 3-6. Unlikely to come out of anybody else, but you never know. 1 of each played, 6 winners. But we lose nothing by trying these, so we're already in last. There's no Duragon, which after calls is always a bit dodgy. Alright, 2 more draws left, assuming that nothing like that happens. God darn it, Mono. You also have my winners. Alright, fine. This is not my game. 4,000 points then. South round. Let's go. I mean, it sounds good, gotta be honest, at least for speed, but we now need value. Already with a speed boost. So this is going to be Riichi Pinfu at the moment. Might be able to cut the 9s and go for a Tanyo, but well, at that point it's not going to happen, but we've got Pinfu if we can get a 8. Got Riichi if we draw anything else. Yeah, let's go back a step and see if we can work this into an actual Pinfu. I mean, 8 would have given us Dora. I suppose that's the only argument for that. Oh god. Right. Play 3.1 and we'll see if we can just squeeze this into a Tanyo. Because we could just lose to a big enough sumo, so we don't have the capacity to wait. Yeah, that would have been fine, but you know. Okay. So 20,000 points to make up in 4 hands. Not impossible. But we're going to need a bit of jam for that. We're also going to need the dealer turn to end all dealer turns, I think. Past that, let's cut the 8. Two from Tenpai. And that does not help. North is also no good. I mean, ideally we need to draw a 4 to get some Dora into this hand, really, but draw a 4, draw a dragon, cut 1, cut 2, reach. That's ideally what we want. Fortunately, one of us just decided to sumo there, which, again, open chance of 1500. Grumble, grumble. Alright, yeah, our position hasn't changed. We're still 20,000 from 3rd, and that's the only thing we can realistically look at. This, though. This, though. I don't think we force a Tanyo, in all honesty. Yeah, this is an extremely fast hand. I could reach this next turn. Tanyo and a potential Khan. So I kill my potential Khan off. What do I care? Frostborough draws to 5. That probably helps him out, so... yeah, I reckon that's what's happened. I have no evidence of that, but you never know. It's fine. Right, so if I draw a 7, I can go into a Tanyo Pinfu. Tudora, which I think is fine. It's exactly what we need right now. You even got it. That's amazing. Alright, reach 6-9. And I've been immediately killed. It's not nice of you. Reach Pinfu to Dora. could have canned as well, actually, as it had turned out. I mean, ultimately, we wouldn't have had pin 2, but you know. Option was there, I guess. Yeah, Mono wants to give me a 6-man. I know Mono wants to give me a 6-man. That's clearly the best thing for Mono to discard at this point. Mono can give me a 6-man. No, he doesn't want to give me a 6-man. God damn him. After all the points I've given him this game. Yeah, I think it's fairly obvious on a Manzi weight, so if anything's going to come out, it's going to be the 9. As long as I don't give any helpful information, there's always a chance. Hey, 3 passed. That means the 6 and 9 will pass, right? Right? CG traps being that they are. I mean, for that, and of course, the problem. You get a comeback hand. You still need to actually finish the darn thing. All right. Well, this needs to be the dealer turn to end all dealer turns, and that is just. Well, we'll see. We need to make this work, though. That's the thing. Almost doesn't matter how many points this is worth. We got to attack with it. We're more likely to get a call of the 2 dot. That's the only reason we're playing that. That's halfway. Yeah, of course it happens. Alright. So that call probably means Mono is in Tempai. One away at worst. Same for Prospero. And also, we need the South to do anything, so... Thank you, Mono. Okay, well, we can at least win. Assuming we get there first. Which is not going to be definite. So we can call 3-6 for Mono, we can call 8-man, we can call 2 dot. And we need to get one of them. So much for that. 39, so there's not even enough to put Mono into second, is it? Yeah. Well, 20,000 in two hands without... In fact, 20,000 in one hand with no dealership. And this is not looking likely. I need to hit Prospero with something bigger than a Hanneman, actually. Well, let's see what we can do. At this point, I lose nothing for the effort. Okay, so it's bonus tile only. No, I suppose we get a repeat, so it's not the end of the world. Red Dragon, no Yaku. There's a 4-dot left. I could Sankansu. Come on, 4-dot. One time, 4-dot. Is there a 4-dot left? Actually, there could still be a 4-dot left. That's my first turn. You're kidding me. Fine. Alright. This is an evolution. Why would you Khan here? Now I can't Sankansu. That was pointless. Is that going to be enough points? That might be enough points to put this into West, which if it is, fine. But I doubt, nah. 200 off. Well, GG. That was abysmal. And with that, I am definitely going to call it a stream. Thanks for joining me, those who did. Sorry for the salt in the last game. I was, yeah. That was definitely a tilting game, in all honesty. Oh boy, well, stuff to analyse. I mean, there wasn't a lot I could do in the first couple of instances, but there were definitely some major errors that crept into the game there. Oh, I'll update the scores and find out what Mono's new lead is later. So, thanks for joining us as always. I think I still gained points overall, but not many. I should have had more than that. Well, no well. Doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Thanks for joining us, those who did. I will catch you all another time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.